Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Students, in this video, we are going to discuss continuation of biotechnology applications. So, continuation of biotechnology applications in agriculture. Okay, ma? So, continuation of biotechnology applications in agriculture. Why I have used the continuation means, so in a biotechnology applications, previously I have forwarded one video on applications of agriculture. Now this is a second video on agriculture. So biotechnology applications on agriculture. So second video, and third video also I will give third video on pest resistant plants. So by covering of pest resistant plants, so I will explain biotechnology applications in medicine. So third video will be on that. Now second video on completely biotechnology applications in agriculture. So in this particular case, in a previous video, after completion of a previous video only, try to visit this video, try to see this video, otherwise you cannot understand anything. So let us have a look on the biotechnology applications in agriculture. Okay, come, let us have a look on this, students. So now we are going to discuss information regarding biotechnology applications in agriculture. So let us have a look on this. So now continuation, so previous video continuation only try to see. So genetically modified plants have been used in many ways. So definitely, so genetically modified plants. So genetically modified plants have been useful for many ways. So in this particular case, there are genetically modified plants are there have been useful in many ways. So definitely when we are going to follow or when we are going to use these genetically modified plants, definitely we will get lot of benefits, useful benefits we will be obtaining. So let us see what are the benefits are there. Okay. So genetic engineering modifications has, so from here onwards, so all uses will be started. So NEET examinations point of view as well as public examination point of view also important. Try to concentrate well. Okay, now let us see the first point A. So that is made crops more tolerant to the abiotic stresses or stress. Okay, so means by using of genetically modifying or by using of genetic engineering processes, we are creating or we are getting some kind of genetic modifications in crops. So thereby when we are going to change or when we are going to get modifications or when we are going to derive the modifications in crops, so now these crops are getting more tolerant to the abiotic stresses. So abiotic, not biotic, abiotic. Abiotic means what are the conditions we can be taken now. For example, is concerned cold, drought, salinity, heat and etc. So these four let us take. So still so many we can be taken. So if you study these four now, so what are the abiotic stresses we can understand very clearly. So cold conditions. So cold conditions, drought conditions, so very dry areas, so water scarcity conditions. Next one salinity conditions, salinity, so salt concentration suppose if is more, so that is salinity conditions. Heat no need to explain, so heat you know very well. So means suppose if you are creating or if you made any kind of plants, so by using of genetic engineering processes, so such kind of plants only, so we learned yesterday such kind of plants we will be taking as genetically modified plants. So those such kind of genetically modified plants so can able to tolerate abiotic stresses, so they can withstand so in all abiotic stresses conditions. I hope you understood this one. So sir, let me give you one example, sir. Means so one example also I will give you. Example now you see there, basmati variety of rice. Okay, ma. So basmati variety of rice made resistant against biotic as well as abiotic stresses. So we thought to learn only example of abiotic stress, but here now we are learning both stresses. So one is by biotic as well as by abiotic. Means here the basmati variety of rice it has the capability to show the resistance against the biotic as well as abiotic stresses. So that is the first point. A first point. Now second point B. Now let us see. Reduced reliance on chemical pesticides. So here reliance, so we know the very well, reduced reliance on chemical pesticides or usage of chemical pesticides. So here, so what is the point here we are taking? No. So when we are going to use genetically modified plants, when we are going to use genetically modified plants, we no need to use that much of a huge pesticides. We can reduce or we can reduce the usage, reliance usage meaning madri, so we can be taken. So reduce the usage of which one? Chemical pesticides. Why? Because definitely, so we have produced which one? Pest resistant plants we have produced. Suppose if we are producing pest resistant plants means pest resistant plants or the crops, no. So at the time they have the resistance themselves at the time. So no need to use that much of huge chemicals, no. So that's why we can reduce the usage of chemicals. Okay. Next one, increase. Okay, next one, third one example is increase the efficiency of mineral usage by plants. Suppose if you are creating or if you create any kind of genetically modified plants, no. So definitely what we can be done or what are the important points we can be seen means, so these genetically modified plants increase the efficiency of minerals usage when compared to the normal plants. So genetically modified plants now we are using. So when we are using genetically modified plants, no, definitely, so these genetically modified plants, so they will receive or they will absorb the more amount of minerals from the ground or soil. So that is only I have written increase the efficiency of minerals usage. So by the genetically modified plants. So simply I have written plants. So we can understand here genetically modified plants. Next one, fourth point now let us see. So help to reduce. So help to reduce the post harvesting losses. So post harvesting losses, post harvest. Once you see there, pre means before harvest, post means after harvest. So try to understand this point. So means when we will have this particular crop in our home, no, at that time also we can observe some kind of problems. So that is only post harvest losses we will call. Post harvest losses, after harvesting of crops from the fields also, when we are storing in our home or when we are storing in a godowns, no, in that particular places also we will observe some kind of or some amount of losses. So that one we will be taking as post harvesting losses. So when you will use these genetically modified plants or fruits, no, so now we can reduce the post harvest losses. Now you see there fourth point, help to reduce post harvest losses. So for example, so let us learn by taking of one example, that is flavor saver tomato. Don't forget this point not given in our NCERT textbook. Try to save this point in your mind. So example is flavor saver tomato. Flavor saver tomato. So genetically modified tomato. So to avoid the confusion, so here this flavor saver tomato example of genetically modified tomato. So now here information also I would like to give you somewhat information related to the flavor saver tomato. That's why I have written somewhat extra information related to the flavor saver tomato. Let us have a look on this. Let us learn that information also. So now see. So transgenic tomato called flavor saver tomato has a much longer and flavored shelf life than the conventional tomatoes. So means when compared to the normal one, when compared to the conventional tomatoes, when compared to the conventional, not cold madri, not tomatoes. Okay, so conventional tomatoes, when compared to the conventional tomatoes, so these flavor saver tomatoes, these flavor saver tomatoes have longer lifespan as well as flavored, as well as shelf life period also will be more. So shelf life period also will be more and a longer lifespan will be there, flavored and shelf life period likewise. So each and every aspect is more only when compared to the conventional tomatoes, when compared to the conventional tomatoes, thereby because of delayed ripening. So here when ripening, so when ripening means suppose so when you will observe like raw tomatoes, so will be in green color. So like later that will be gradually converted into orange color, later it will be like red color. So in this particular case no, so when this flavor saver tomatoes ripening is a very less or delayed ripening, so due to this particular case no, we can transport these tomatoes for long place. Suppose in our states, in South Indian states, suppose we are producing or we are getting flavor saver tomatoes, so we can transport to the North Indians also, means definitely transport, so it takes 2 or 3 days, suppose if you take like that. So without any problems or without any losses, definitely we can transport to them. Why? Because here what is the main important point we are finding here? Delayed ripening. So because of the delayed ripening, we can transport to the other places also without any losses. So that is a point mainly we can understand. Next one, this transgenic tomato, flavor saver tomato is bruise resistant. BRUISE, bruise resistant. Sir, what is the meaning of bruise resistant? Means down meaning also I have written. That means suitable for the storage. Suitable for the storage and transport due to delayed ripening. So we can transport, means before I have explained no. So same point only, bruise resistance is nothing but suitable for storage. We can storage, so definitely as well as we can transport. Okay, we can do storage or we can do transport also due to the delayed ripening and offers higher shelf life period. So here we can storage for long time and we can send for or we can transport for long distance. So that kind of a thing. So definitely it will be fulfilled by usage of flavor saver tomato. So thus it helps in reducing post harvest losses. So definitely, so this point very exclusively we understood. I hope so. By listening my explanation, I hope you understood this point. Otherwise, so this 10 minutes video, try to see this one, later come on to the next point. Now, enhance the nutrient value of food. When you will follow the which one genetically modified plants, so definitely, so we can increase the nutritional value in food. Okay, we can increase the nutritional value in food. For example, what is the example we can be taken means vitamin A enriched rice. So did you understand what is the rice I am talking about? Now once you see in bracket, now we are going to learn regarding golden rice. So I think so you heard this word, this golden rice, whether you have seen or not I don't know. So but golden rice there, what is the thing we are observing more and more? Vitamin enriched rice. So there vitamin A will be more and more in more quantities will be there in that particular rice variety. So now, so what is the information of this golden rice? So now here how I have given flavor saver tomato extra information no. So likewise I would like to give somewhat extra information of golden rice. Now let us have a look on this. Now golden rice was created by transforming rice with the 2 beta carotene genes or biosynthesis genes. One more time you see there, golden rice was created by transforming rice with so 2 TWO 2 beta carotene biosynthesis. Okay, ma? So now what are the two genes are there? Now let us see. One is PSY and one more is CTRL. Ma? PSY means phytoene synthase. You see there ends with ASE. Okay, enzyme mother is there. Now you see there PSY, phytoene synthase. So from where we have been taken this one? From daffodil plant. So this point, this particular gene we have been taken from the daffodil plant. So daffodil plant scientific name is, you see there, Narcissus. Narcissus pseudo Narcissus. So scientific name I am not asking to remember, but at least daffodil plant you try to remember. Daffodil plant or for examinations concerned, no, Narcissus at least you try to remember. Okay, daffodil plant scientific name is Narcissus pseudo Narcissus. Okay, I think so many of the people now only you learn this one. Okay, now try to save this point in your mind. Now one gene name is PSY. So PSY only you try to read. Okay, PSY means phytoene synthase. Next one, second gene is CRTL. CRTL name is phytoene desaturase. CRTL name is phytoene desaturase, and from where we have been taken this particular gene means we have been isolated from the soil bacterium. So we have been isolated from the soil bacterium. Name is, so soil bacterium scientific name Erwinia. 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 UREDOVORA. Uridovora. So one more time, Erwinia uridovora. So means here the scientific name also it is like bombarding us, but so try to listen carefully. I am not asking to remember these scientific names, based on your capability as well as caliber you try to understand. So now two genes, one is a PSY and one more is a CRTL genes. So definitely helps so in order to producing of golden rice. Means here one point I have given, once you see there. So two beta carotene genes are present, or biosynthesis genes are there, no. So based on this one more point, so here I have given that point is now the precursor of vitamin A. Precursor of vitamin A. Precursor means while explaining molecular basis of inheritance, I have given one point, means so how we have been how we have come from our parents, no. So likewise vitamin A also come from his or its mother. So its mother is beta carotene. Okay, ma. So now what is the point? Precursor of vitamin A is beta. Not B, this beta. Beta carotene pigment. Okay, in photosynthesis lesson also we learn now beta carotenoids are present and xanthophylls are present, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B is present. So all these members we will be calling as pigments. Now beta carotenoids, xanthophylls and beta carotenoids, chlorophyll B we will be considering as accessory pigments. Did you remember? So likewise, so this beta carotene is a kind of pigment. So definitely, so this beta carotenoid or beta carotene is acting as a precursor for producing of vitamin A, or vitamin A is produced from the beta carotene. Don't forget, this point is important. I think so in 2017 or 2018, I could not remember exact year. So this point they have given in NEET examinations. So that's why try to save this point in your mind. Now let us move on to the next point, that is CF. Now their product of insect resistant genes could decrease the amount of insecticides used. So means when we are going to use genetically modified plants, no. So here when we are going to use genetically modified plants, we no need to use which one? Insecticides more and more. So we can reduce or we can decrease the usage of or the amount of insecticides. So already the plants they have the resistance. They have the resistance towards the insecticides, insects, no. At the time when the plants are showing resistance to the insects, so at the time we no need to use huge much of insecticides. For example, BT cotton. So this is the best example, BT cotton information. So in this video only definitely I'll give you my information regarding that. Next point, let us move on to the next point, production of pest resistant plants. The production of pest resistant plants could decrease the amount of pesticides usage. Why this one point we can understand clearly. So here the production of pest resistant plants. So suppose if you produce pest resistant plants, means the plants which will have resistance towards the pests. So we are understanding only, so could decrease the usage of the pesticides. So we can reduce the usage of pesticides. So suppose if you use the plants so which are related to the pests. So for example, transgenic tobacco plants, tobacco plants. So best example related to the pest resistant plants. Okay, so this is somewhat information regarding this one and some of the applications. So here a few more things are there. Now let us explain these applications related to the agriculture. Now you see now here some of the applications of biotechnology in agriculture. So some of the applications, now let us have a look on the applications. So which are we are going to amplify in agriculture. So now let us see one by one. So here first one is insect resistant plants. First one, which one? You try to say along with me. Insect resistant plants. So one more time, insect resistant plants, where we can be seen. No. So for example, so BT toxin is produced by the some strains of bacteria. So means here BT toxin is produced by some strains of a bacteria called Bacillus thuringiensis. One more time, BT toxin genes or BT toxin is produced by some kind of strains of the bacteria. So BT toxins definitely we are producing from a bacteria or some strains of a bacteria known as Bacillus thuringiensis. This name try to by heart, Bacillus thuringiensis. It is a bacteria. So now here or you can remember this one. So Bacillus once in first year explanations, based on the shape of the bacteria, we have been divided the bacteria into 4 types of Bacillus, cocci, vibrio and spirilla. So that is there. Bacillus also we have seen now. So rod shaped bacteria. So likewise, so here scientific name of the one bacteria is Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay, so this Bacillus thuringiensis, so from where or what is the thing we are observing? So we are observing the production of BT toxin, or this Bacillus thuringiensis produce BT toxins. Now let us move forward. That is, this BT toxin gene has been cloned from the bacteria. So means this BT toxin genes, so where we have been cloned? In bacteria only. And what is the toxic gene or BT toxin gene is produced in the bacteria, that is not expressed in the bacteria. Now that one is expressed in the, now exactly see at the mark, expressed in the plants. Now we have been produced BT toxin genes in the bacteria only, but these BT toxin genes expression is there in expressed in plants to provide resistance to insects. So means here when these BT toxins we are producing the bacteria and when we are observing the expression in the plants, so because of the presence of these BT toxins in the plants, these plants are showing the resistance towards the insects without a need for insecticides. So in this particular case, when the plants are showing in resistance towards the insects, at the time you no need to use any kind of insecticides. I hope you understood this point. So but one point you try to listen carefully, BT toxin, so that one we have developed or we have cloned in the bacteria. So after completion of cloning, this particular BT toxin gene we are incorporating into the plants. Okay, when we are incorporating into the plants, so definitely that particular gene will be inserted into the plants and expressed in the plants. So thereby, so these plants are showing resistance to the insects. So when the plants are showing resistance to the insects, at the time we no need to use the insecticides for killing of insects. So that point I hope you understood this one. Next one, insecticides in effect created a biopesticide. So here next point is, for example, what are the plants are there means, so there are different types of plants are there. So BT cotton, BT corn, 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 maize we will use sweet corn, likewise BT cotton. Next one rice, takali, tomato, and next one is potato, brinjal, and soybean, etc. Still means likewise so many examples we can be taken. So but for our understanding concern or understanding point of view concerned, so these examples are enough. So one is BT cotton, BT corn, rice, means here BT rice you try to remember, don't forget BT rice, and BT takali, BT potato, BT brinjal, and BT soybean. Likewise there are different types of examples we can be seen. Now let us have a look on the BT cotton. The explanation very important. Try to listen carefully. So in a public examinations also, so this point means write a short notes on BT cotton. Likewise definitely they will ask you. So definitely in easy mode only I will explain. Try to listen carefully. Now so let us start to learn that is BT cotton. So now come. Now some strains of Bacillus thuringiensis produce endotoxin proteins. So first point itself is important. Now one more time, some strains, not all, only few. That's why I have written as some strains of Bacillus thuringiensis produce endotoxin proteins, so that kill insects such as. So what are the insects are killed by these toxic genes means, or these toxic proteins means. Clue point of view, here I have written as LCD. I have written as LCD. LCD which one? Types of insects. So why I have written like that? LED TV, LCD TV, likewise are there no TVs. So likewise, so one general example Madhuri I would like to give you. That's why I have mentioned as LCD. Now LCD means what are the types of insects? Now you come one by one. Now let us learn. First one, you see there LCD. L means Lepidopterans. It is a kind of insects. Best examples are tobacco budworm, and one more is armyworm. Next one, Coleopterans. Coleopterans insects, what are those? Beetles. Next one, diphterons, flies and mosquitoes. FLIES, flies. FLIES and mosquitoes. Now that's why. So here LCD means there are different types of insects are there. All these kinds of insects we can kill by using of these endotoxin proteins which are synthesized from the, or which we have been taken from the Bacillus thuringiensis. Now NEET examination point of view, mostly they will concentrate here. Once let us look on this. Lepidopterans examples, tobacco budworm, armyworm. Next one, Coleopterans examples, beetles. Next one, diphterons examples, flies and mosquitoes. Next one, now information concerned, Bacillus thuringiensis produces crystalline inclusions called crystal proteins or protein crystals. Means here definitely these Bacillus thuringiensis produce some kind of crystals, crystal proteins in brackets. So for easy to understand I have written like as crystal proteins. One more time, Bacillus thuringiensis definitely produce crystal proteins or cryproteins. Cryproteins, CRY, cryproteins. Okay. So now these crystal proteins contains so a toxic insecticidal protein. Don't forget. So these crystals are there which are produced from the Bacillus thuringiensis. So definitely having of toxins, definitely consist of toxins. So these toxins may be a toxic insecticidal protein. So simply BT toxin. Don't forget, toxic substances are there. These are all insecticidal proteins. So definitely which will kill the insects. So simply we will be taking as BT toxin. Next one, this particular toxin does not kill the Bacillus thuringiensis gene or Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria due to its resistance as inactive toxin, means protoxin. Means here you may get one doubt, sir. Now we are producing this particular these crystals or which one crystal proteins from the Bacillus thuringiensis. No, when these Bacillus thuringiensis toxins are present in the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis, it won't affect to the bacteria, sir, means no ma. These toxic proteins or beta toxins will not affect the Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Why? Because reason I have written once, you see there. So these toxins are inactive. Here exactly let spotlight you see ma. These toxins are inactive in state, or these toxins are inactive toxins. So inactive toxins, no? So protoxins, okay. So means these are all will be in inactive mode. So when these toxins are present in inactive mode, no, they won't cause any kind of toxins or any kind of problematic conditions to the Bacillus thuringiensis, okay. But when it is converted into an active form, so when these protoxins are converted into active form of the toxin due to the alkaline pH of gut, which solubilize crystals. So now what is information now? Suppose if any kind of insect, suppose I will take the example of butterfly caterpillars. One more time you try to listen example, butterfly caterpillars. So when these butterfly caterpillars will go and sit on the BT plants or BT cotton plants, definitely it will try to eat the leaves. So but this butterfly caterpillar doesn't know. So there, which one is there? Bacillus thuringiensis genes are there in on the or in the leaves. So in this particular case, this butterfly caterpillars will eat all the insect, all the leaves. In this particular case, what will be happen directly? So this BT cotton or BT means Bacillus thuringiensis genes enters into the, once you see there, enters into the, so I have written here. Now you see, these toxic binds, these toxic substances binds to the epithelial cells of the mid-gut region of insects. Point you understood? So these butterfly caterpillars will go and eat or trying to eat these leaves or the morphological structures of the cotton. So definitely all these toxic substances now will go and binds at, now it will go and binds at epithelial cells of mid-gut region. This point also is important. So when these toxic substances will go and binds at the epithelial cells of mid-gut regions of insect, at the time in mid-gut region of epithelial cells, what is the pH we can find out? Alkaline pH we can find. So exactly at alkaline pH of gut region, definitely protoxins will be activated, or these inactivated toxins are converted into toxins, or the protoxins are converted into toxins. Sir, suppose when these protoxins enters into the mid-gut region of insects, then what is happening, sir, means these protoxins, everything will be activated at alkaline pH, or because of the alkaline pH present in gut region, automatically what is happening, sir, means, or what will happen, sir, means produce pores. Which one? Toxic genes or the toxic substances produce pores which result in swelling and lysis of cells and eventually causes death of the insects. So thereby gradually that particular insect will die. So first of all pores formation takes place, later swelling and later lysis of the cells, and finally death of the insects. This order also you try to remember. First of all, due to the activation of toxic substances, pores formation takes place, later swelling, later lysis of the cells, finally death of the insects. So next one, BT genes transferred to the plant. Now here you may get one doubt. Suppose, sir, in previous video we don't know. So now suppose these genes belongs to the bacteria, but we are incorporating into the plant cells. So how we have to incorporate, sir, means in previous videos, means in biotechnology principles and processes chapter, so I have given information regarding, suppose if you would like to transfer any kind of genes into the plants, means one agrobacterium bacteria you have to take the help. Why? Because their TI plasmid is there, tumor inducing plasmid is there, so because of the help of the tumor inducing plasmid, definitely, so these bacterial genes we can transfer into the plant cells. So what is the plasmid we are taking the help? Ti plasmid, that we have been taken from the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So don't forget, this point also is important. Next one, Bt toxins. Bt toxins are insect group specific. So means here definitely Bt toxins will not go and kill all kind of insects. No, will not go and kill like that. Definitely will go and kill only specific insects. Don't forget, this point also is important. Now what are the names of these Bt genes means? So these Bt genes we can call by, now you see there exactly, let's spotlight, CRY, cry genes. Bt genes also known as cry genes. Don't forget, cry genes. Now most important topic, that is point only, not topic, just points. One is Cry1AC and Cry2AB controls cotton bollworms. One more time, Cry1AC and Cry2AB genes. Names of these genes, try to by heart these. Cry1AC, Cry1AC and Cry2AB controls cotton bollworms, and Cry1AB, CRY1, this Roman number 1. Cry1AB controls corn borer. Okay, so these 2 points. So along with all points, these 2 points also most important points. Cry1AC and Cry2AB controls cotton bollworms. Next one, Cry1AB controls corn borer. So likewise, somewhat information I have given related to the insect resistant plants. So by taking the example of Bacillus thuringiensis cotton or Bt cotton. So in the next video definitely I will come forward with pest resistant plants. Pest resistant plants information also very important. Try to concentrate. Thank you.